Hey friends, Tony Howard here. Today is October 24th, and as we speak, Venus is in a very tight conjunction with the Sun, one you might have heard referred to as cazimi. They're both in Scorpio, and they're also parallel, making this a really strong channel, maybe the strongest, for Venus energy. Think of things like connection, grace, and artistry, and this time in Scorpio. We want to put that in a scorpionic context, or think about it in a scorpionic way, like the pursuit of a depth connection with someone. So seek out somebody you're really close to and reach out for that strong connection. We're also about to begin the big Mars retrograde this year, and if you'd like to learn a little more about that, I recorded a detailed webinar just for you. It's over a couple hours long, so check that out on Astrology University website. I go into all of the details that make this Mars retrograde really special and unique, including being in Gemini and out of bounds at the same time, as well as making aspects to other planets, big one being Neptune. So just search for Mars retrograde if you want to learn more about that using the search field at the top of any page of the website. And speaking of, that's why I'm here today, to tell you about some of the great events coming up in the next few weeks at Astrology University. As always, you can download these if you missed them live, but I'll be sharing the dates if you do want to join us. When you join a live event, you get the chance to ask questions and chat with the other attendees, and people just love that live energy, so I hope you can make it to some of those. We've got a brand new course starting this week that I know many of you will be interested in, and this is with the amazing teacher Brian Clark, who's going to teach a course called Vocation, Mission, and Calling. Now this course is a perfect adjunct to his book on vocation if you know about that, and if you don't, we're going to be reading from it during the course, so you get a chance to explore it then. In addition to that reading, Brian's prepared several video lessons, including one looking at the question of vocation, reflecting on how we think about vocation, what that means, and how astrology can help us explore that, including mission as well and life purpose. He'll also look at the nodes and the four angles and their role in mission or vocation, and he's going to explore the classic vocational houses as well. That's second house, sixth house, and 10th house, and he'll share some tips about how to analyze those houses, the rulers of those houses, and planets in those houses. He's also going to talk about temperament and personality, and talk about how it's important to include several additional chart factors when thinking about vocation, along with some of the standard classics, and how personality shapes our experience in vocation, and how important it is to honor that in our vocation. And we'll also look at timing and transits and transitions in vocation as well as we close out the course. I'm going to be sharing a little bit in this course as well, including some chart examples that help us apply these concepts, and a little bit of research I've done on directors and how their charts inform their work so powerfully. As part of this course, you'll get to spend some live Q&A time with Brian and myself over 4 live sessions. The course runs live from October 26th through November 20th, and if you join us after those dates, you'll get all the video recordings plus a special PDF guide that Brian's prepared just for this course, which includes a resource guide for analysis, as well as questions for reflection and a lot of other great material. I hope you can join us for this course, and that same week, on October 26th, we start the Inner Planets course, where I take you through a full exploration of Venus, Mercury, and Mars in the natal chart. One past student of this course described her experience like this, quote, "This is a wonderful course with ample content. I learned a lot of new things about the inner planets, and I came away feeling confident in knowing and interpreting their energies," end of quote. Well, thanks so much for that wonderful feedback, Kylie. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm sure some of you will enjoy this course too. So come check it out if you're ready for a deep dive into the inner planets. And we'll also be reading a classic book from Liz Green and Howard Susportis. Also starting that same day, October 26th, we'll take a deeper dive into the inner planets, and we'll look at their aspects with the outer planets if you're ready for that stage of analysis. And Jessica Murray teaches this course, and she's going to be sharing some expert and sage guidance to help us interpret these powerful aspects between inner and outer planets. And finally this week, Demetra George starts a course introducing our 4-year program students to Hellenistic Astrology. Now this course is best if you are a program student, but if you're ready to or interested in learning about Hellenistic Astrology from the ground up, she does have a separate course with us called the Hellenistic Astrology Primer, so check that one out if you're not a part of the program and you're interested in that topic. Now, on October 31st, Kelly Surtees starts up her popular chart interpretation course on the lunar phases, personality, and aspect patterns. And this is part of Kelly's program, but you can drop into most of these courses at any time. And this one starts up again and just includes a live Q&A component, so you'll get some recorded lessons and you'll get some fabulous live Q&A time with Kelly. And then she'll, on November 5th, she'll be presenting a webinar describing how to work with eclipses, both solar and lunar, called Eclipse Essentials. And you'll want to tune into this one if you're just ready to start looking at eclipses in charts. Kelly's going to cover all the basics from the ground up, including how to spot the north and south node eclipses, how those are both different, and how to think about and understand the Saros series concept. If you haven't heard of that, tune in November 5th live to learn more, or just get the download afterwards. The next week, on November 12th, Jessica Murray's back with us for a rare live webinar. She does about one of these for us a year, and she'll be guiding us through the House of Big Questions, which is going to be a deep dive into the 9th house. In addition to sharing some of her always expert wisdom about the 9th house, she'll help us think about its meaning in the context of the other houses. She'll also give some insight about each of the planets in the 9th house and how to work with transits to the 9th. Now, speaking of timing, the next weekend, November 19th, Mark Jones presents a brand new webinar on solar arc directions. This one's based on years of research done with his assistant Patrick Graham, and he'll be presenting this information for the first time. And Mark's going to describe how he sees solar arcs as animating the power of the sun's meaning through time. And that's going to take us to the end of November in terms of the calendar. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that that's an important time to mark on your calendar, because we have our once annual sale then. And that's going to happen this year, 2022, from Friday, November 25th to Monday, November 28th, when you'll be able to save 20% off just about everything in our store, with the exception of the four-year program courses. So make sure you're on our email list to get that coupon code. Well, as always, thanks so much for your support and for being part of our amazing community of astrology lovers at Astrology University. I hope to see some of you online soon, and until then, take good care.